training mission for the FA-18 Hornet in the DCS World Flight Simulator. We're going to learn about the AIM-120 AMRAM today. So let's get our smooth instructor going so we can mark this down as another completion in the books.
In this lesson, we'll explore employment of the Advanced Medium Range Air-to-Air Missile, or AMRAM. The AMRAM replaced the older AIM-7 Sparrow with improved range, guidance, weight, and an embedded radar seeker in the nose cone. This allows the AMRAM to guide on target without support from the host aircraft as the missile closes with the target. This in turn allows the launch aircraft to maneuver without loss of missile guidance to the target. The AMRAM can be cued to targets with the Hornet's radar, or it can be launched at a close range just using the missile's seeker. Deliveries of the AIM-120B began in 1994 and replaced the AIM-120A. The AIM-120C was fielded in 1996 and has clipped wings to support internal storage, improved target detection, and greater range. As with all air-to-air missiles, engagement range is highly dependent on engagement aspect, launch altitude, and launch speed. You will see much greater launch distances at 30,000 feet on a closing target than 5,000 feet on a receding target. I currently have the lesson paused. To select the AMRAM, press right on the weapon select switch or press left shift and D. Do this now.
Okay, as a side note, I believe, I may be wrong, but I believe that the AIM-120C clipped wings for internal storage was specifically for the F-22 because all of its stores are generally stored inside of a bay so that it doesn't break the stealth. So I think that's what that was. Pretty sure that's right, but if I'm wrong, be sure to chastise me in the comments because I don't know. But right now it wants me to do left shift D. So left shift S was for the Sidewinder missile, left shift D is for the AMRAM, so let's go ahead and do that.
Let's first take a look at the AMRAM format page on the left DDI. In the top left corner of the DDI, at push button 6, is the size selection. By pressing on the push button, you have selections to set weapon fusing size to small, medium, and large sized targets. We'll be shooting down some drone MiG-29s, so select small.
Okay, I think this is another instance of me doing it too fast. You have to wait for the recording to be done before it'll be
To the
done.
right of the size selection is the radar cross-section, or RCS selection. Upon pressing this push button, you have options to set the expected radar cross-section of the target between small, medium, and large. Go ahead and set it to small. Along the right side of the DDI at push button 13 is the step push button. Successive presses cycle the selected AIM-120 stations. You can see AIM-120 loading on the wing form with AB for AIM-120B and AC for AIM-120C. The selected rail stations include the SEL indicator and dual rail stations with indications for right and left rail on the station. Press spacebar to continue. When we selected the AIM-120, we also set the radar on the right DDI to the AIM-120 default settings. These include a range scale of 40 miles, a 2-bar scan, an azimuth of 140 degrees, and an interleaved PRF. Let's keep these as is. Press spacebar to continue.
Okay.
The large dashed circle is the most obvious indication of AMRAM selection. This indicates the seeker field of view if launched with no radar lock first. This is termed Mad Dog launch, and the AMRAM will lock on to intercept the first target it detects within the dashed reticle area out to 10 miles. Below the dashed reticle is the designation for the selected weapon, AB for AIM-120B and AC for AIM-120C. Below that is a visual indication, meaning there is no radar lock, and if launched now, the missile would be in Mad Dog mode. Press spacebar and I'll add some drone targets.
Okay, so he's just talking about this right here. So this big circle is the cone that it's going to search in, AIM-B or AIM-C and the number that we have, and then letting us know that it's in visual or Mad Dog mode.
On the right DDI radar page, we see a target, or called a hit, on the radar. Let's lock it up by moving the Throttle Designator Controller, or TDC, over it and locking it up. We do this by using the TDC switch on the throttle or by pressing period, comma, backslash, and semicolon to slew it. Once the two vertical bars of the TDC are over the hit, press down on the TDC switch or press the enter button. Once the target is locked, press spacebar to continue.
I will be adjusting this to change it to where it's more convenient for me, but I think... Can't tell if it's locked or not. Okay. I think that's locked.
With the target locked up, some new information is now available on the HUD. On the HUD is a large, solid circle that acts as both the AIM-120 allowable steering error circle and as the normalized in-range display or NERD circle. Fly it to keep the small steering dot inside the circle to give the missile the best chance of reaching the target. Along the outside of the circle are 3 triangle NERD indications. The one at 6 o'clock position is the missile maximum range, also called RMAX. Counterclockwise from it is the no escape range, also called RNE. When target range is within RNE, the target could change course and the missile would still have the energy to reach the target. The third indication, near the 2 o'clock position of the NERD circle, is the missile minimum range, called RMIN. The line inscribing the circle indicates target range, and you want this between RMAX and RMIN to launch the missile. Also on the HUD is a box or diamond that indicates the line of sight to the locked target. A box indicates a friendly target, and a diamond indicates it as a hostile. If you see a large X across the HUD and radar display, your range to the target is less than the minimum range indication. When the target is between RMAX and RMIN, the steering dot is inside the ASE circle, and weapon is armed, the shoot cue will appear and you can launch the missile by pulling the trigger on the stick or by pressing the spacebar. When between RNE and RMIN, the shoot indication will flash. Press spacebar to continue.
Yeah, nothing of what he says seems to be on the screen for me, and I'm trying to make sure that this is locked up, because I've used the TDC before on the F-15, but I'm not familiar with how to use it on the F-18, so hopefully it's locked, I don't know.
Along the right side of the HUD are 3 lines of information. The top line is an indication of closure velocity, V sub C, and below that is target range in miles. Further down on the right side of the HUD is the timer field. When the locked target is outside the range of the AIM-120 radar seeker, the value will display the time from missile launch at which the AMRAM seeker will turn on and hunt down the target. This is shown as the time in seconds and then ACT. Once the range of the seeker in the AMRAM is less than approximately 10 miles, the time changes to time to go until the missile impacts the target. This is displayed as remaining time and then TTG. The ACT and TTG will be in reference to the last AIM-120 launched. When the target range is 15 miles, launch an AMRAM by pressing and holding the trigger. If the first does not succeed, try again.
Okay, so this is just me not understanding the symbology on the thing here. I'm not sure what this is. They made it look like it was an aircraft, but the aircraft was right here. So now I have it selected, and now we can see the circle that he was talking about and the information. So he's that far away. So we need to be within 15 miles, and then we can shoot. So are we just shooting, or what am I doing? Oh, it shot. Okay. I guess we're just kind of doing an active pause kind of thing then. So hopefully when the missile hits, the tutorial will continue. So this is why I do it this way. I don't want to appear professional, and sometimes you're going to make the mistakes that I'm going to make. So hopefully you watch me make the mistakes.
Splash
and you don't repeat
one. Go ahead and lock up the target flying towards you and press spacebar. Don't engage it. If you don't see one on the radar, press the up arrow on the radar to increase its display range.
Up arrow on the radar. Okay, I see something here. It's very confusing. Okay, I see three different targets heading towards me. None of them are triggering the tutorial. Oh, okay.
Take a look at the air-to-air radar format on the right DDI. You'll note that much of the information on the HUD is duplicated there and includes an ASE circle, shoot cue, steering dot, and range indication as along the azimuth steering line to the target. The locked target has the antenna azimuth line running through it and has its speed as Mach to the left and its altitude to the right. The Rmax, Rne, and Rmin are displayed along the antenna azimuth line. When the AMRAM is launched, a triangular fly-out symbol appears on the azimuth steering line and travels to the target. Once the missile seeker is active, an A appears below the fly-out symbol. To break a lock, press the undesignated button on the stick or press S. Press spacebar to continue.
Okay, as we go through these training sessions, I'm leaving everything kind of default, especially on the keyboard, so I can actually do those things. But once I start getting into actually flying missions, I'm going to redo all the keys for everything because I don't like the way they have it set up. So, we're going to continue.
As noted earlier, you can also use the AMRAM with no radar lock. Termed visual mode, simply fly to place a target within 10 miles inside the HUD reticle and launch the missile. The AMRAM will go after the first target it detects, hostile or friendly. Practice using the AIM-120 against the remaining drones and press escape when you wish to end the lesson.
Wow, that's a little too far out. I'm at 16 miles, but hopefully that will get it. And then we'll use this to come up over here to grab this guy. And also this... Well, we only do one at a time? Okay. Nope, I don't have them locked. So let's grab that guy. There we go. This guy is just coming into the 10-mile range, so let's get him into the circle here. That's him. And there should be one more. That's the visual mode. Ideally, this is going to get him. Very nice. All right, so we finished the tutorial there. Relatively easy to use the missile, but it's just going to take practice to get used to getting it all set up. And then you're going to add in dodging the enemy's missiles and all that stuff in there, so this is definitely going to get much harder. But for now, we've learned how to use the missile, and you've learned from my mistakes, hopefully, and you won't repeat them in the future. So please make sure you come back next time for more not professional tutorials on how to learn how to fly the F-18 in DCS World. Thanks, guys. Have a great day.